That's a lot that you have done. And we do wish you another happy 100 years.
Okay. I have to speak everywhere anyway, all the time. So, I can't not speak for my Aunt Martha. Mom, it's me. There's a couple things I want to tell you about my Aunt Martha. She is my great aunt. She is the sister of Claire Orden and Frida Stone. There are a lot of other sisters, but those are the two that you might know here from that lived in Pensacola. And we are never together that she does not talk to me about my mama, Claire Orden, Claire Snyder Orden. And she holds her in the highest esteem. The stories from their childhood are emotional and unbelievably moving, tragic, and inspirational. And I am very fortunate to have been my grandmother's granddaughter and now my great aunt's great niece. When we went out to lunch the other day, and Nancy and I did insist that we be the first ones to celebrate the birthday, you would not believe the conversations around us because we make sure that everybody knows that Aunt Martha is turning 100. And people would stop and they'd like, she's 100? I cannot believe it. Look at her, like her movement, her conversation. I was blessed to have my grandmother live to be 100. But Aunt Martha is completely with us. And sadly, my grandmother was not. And we missed her. But you are here, you are on all cylinders, you are sharp as a tack. You want to do Zumba? Yeah, don't be looking my way, I'll be sitting still. But you're absolutely an inspiration to every single person in this room. And it was, my husband and I were driving back from Fort Walton this afternoon, and I mentioned to him, I said, you know, Aunt Martha has done it her way. Everything that she has done, all the decisions she made, she decided when to sell her house, she decided when to stop driving, she decided when to go into the apartment, she decided when to go into Wesley Haven, and I told him that's exactly the way I want to do it. My kids are not going to tell me where to go. They are not going to put me anywhere. I am going to put me where I'm going to go because I'm going to do it like Aunt Martha's done it. Happy birthday, Aunt Martha.
Glad for that. Carol helped me send them out the invitation. 3 days we worked. She came to a job. She said, 10 o'clock for the 3 days. I am in her. She's been just wonderful, and I don't know what I did to deserve all this, but if I did it, I don't know. If I did it, I am so overwhelmed. I am so blessed. I cannot express enough to think that my daughter was arranged this party. And I never thought I'd get that kind of attention from my children. We always said, we taught these kids to use their brains and express themselves. And couldn't stand it when they did.
Well, Carol may do this at every function. I've never done it before. I've never done it before in my life because I just can't do it. But I have to do it for Martha because I have a very special Martha story. And I'm sure you know what it is because I've repeated it to you. And people in this room have heard it before because I think it's so special that I've told a lot of people over the years. But about 10 or 15 years ago, Martha came to our office. Do you remember Martha? It must have been when you were still driving. When did you
Yeah.
stop driving? At 9. Well, it was probably about 10 years ago then. Martha came to the office and we visited a while. And when she started to leave, when she got to the door to leave, I said to her, "Martha, have a good day." Now, that is something that all of us say every day of our lives to people. Have a good day. And what do you expect them to say in return? Thank you. You have a good day too. Not Martha. You know what you said, Martha? Martha said, "I intend to." And to me, that says it all about her attitude, about life, you know. She was in control. She was going to decide what kind of day she had, not anybody else. And that's just been something that I've tried to emulate, you know, my whole life. And everything everybody said here tonight, the wonderful tributes, they're what am I trying to say?
True.
They're true, but they are an understatement. They don't even express how wonderful she really is. I love her.
Thank you.
We have a few more minutes if anyone else would like to make a toast, Jennifer.
Miss Martha, I'm Jennifer from Wesley Daytonville. I'm the administrator there. And back in 1993, I had an interest in prayer shawls. So I called the local synagogue and they gave me this lady's phone number and I called her and had the nicest conversation. I think she told me her name then, but I forgot it. About 7 years later, I went to Halifax Street to participate in a march that's commemorating the Holocaust. And in this huge crowd of people, I struck up a conversation with a little lady who was standing there. We had the nicest conversation. She challenged me that day and inspired me to go home and do some things, and I did. And she gave me her name that day, and I wrote it down. 2.5 years ago, I came to Wesley Daytonville, and not long after I arrived there, I was talking to Miss Martha, and all of a sudden I realized this is that same lady. We had had 3 encounters now, and I think it was a relationship that was meant to be. I am very privileged and honored to be here today, honoring you. You made my day. She's my hero. She comes by my office most days to give me a hug and let me give her a hug. We talk about colors and fashion and what we're wearing. Recently, we lost someone that was very special to us, and I was having a very difficult time with that. And I'm privileged to eat breakfast with Martha pretty frequently. I was sitting there that morning, and something came up about this dear woman, and I just couldn't really even talk. And she looked me in the eye, and she reached over, and she took my hand. And just that little squeeze of the hand told me that she knew where I was, that my heart was broken, and that she cared about me. Later that day, she came back in after having been out for the morning, and she looked a little sad, and she told me she had been to a funeral of a friend, and I was able to get up and give her a hug, and show her how much I care about her and how much I saw where she was at, and give her the love back. That's the special relationship we have at Wesley Daytonville. We love her, we love you. You are the life and the heart. Generous spirit. That's the way I would describe you. Generous spirit. We love you, Miss Martha.
I'm Sheila Butler, her granddaughter Lisa's mother-in-law. I came across a quote that just to me expresses who Martha is. And it says, aging doesn't stop you from loving, but loving stops you from aging. And if there's anybody that's younger than Martha, I don't know very many of them because you have loved very well and it has stopped you from aging. And I thank you for loving me and my family, and we love you very much.
Josie, your grandma, Miss Martha told me, call me grandma, which I don't have no family, okay? She took me as a granddaughter. I
I'll take it. I'm a teacher, I don't mind speaking up. My goodness.
I'm Wendy Zirkin, and my two children had the privilege and the joy of learning, as many children did, how to make challah at the synagogue. And when my daughter got married and had her own children, started her own family, she called me at home and said, Mom, do you still have Miss Martha's recipe for challah? I said, of course I do. I'll make a photocopy for you. Had to work it because it was that old mimeograph blue ink, but it had her handwritten notes on it. And my daughter said it turned out delicious, and that's the only recipe she will use. And when my son got married, he called me for the same recipe. So I know there are countless, countless children who have many, many fond memories of those days, as do we all. So, all our love and hugs and challah to Martha.
Speaking of challah, if you haven't tried on the table next to the beautiful cake that Joe and Faye got, there's mandel bread and strudel. That's Grandma Martha and Frida's special recipe that has been made by many members of the family. So